here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Tuesday, March 11th here in Seoul. I'm Songjin, and thanks for joining us on News Generation. Joining us this Tuesday is Kwon-Juyeon.
Happy Tuesday and happy spring.
Happy spring. And Im Sang-yeon.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you also. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. So we're going to begin with our keyword news. Our keyword for this Tuesday is Mickey 17. Directed by Academy Award-winning filmmaker Bong Joon-ho and starring Robert Pattinson, the sci-fi film has topped the North American box office. In its opening weekend, Mickey 17 earned approximately $19.1 million, surpassing Captain America: Brave New World to claim the top spot. Now, this achievement marks Bong as the first Korean director to have a film debut at #1 in North America. So have you had the chance to watch this film? And if you haven't, what about those around you?
No, I haven't watched it yet. Well, director Bong is undoubtedly a great filmmaker, but actually his movies are not really my taste. But if I get a chance to watch it, I'm definitely going to do it. But according to others who watched Mickey 17, they mentioned that this film is quite different from director Bong's past movies. They mentioned that the film shares similar messages with the past movies like Parasite or Okja, but they also said that the tone and the mood of the film is less dark and solemn compared to his previous films. But unfortunately, the critics' rating of Mickey 17 was lower than expected. The Rotten Tomato rating for this film was 79%, and this is quite low when we consider that the Parasite's rating was 95%. So even though director Bong's films are not my favorite, I hope that Mickey 17 gain more audience as we move forward, because as a Korean citizen, I hope that Korean movies garner more attention on global stage.
Right, and it is also director Bong's first film after Parasite, which is a very big new release for him. What about you, Juyeon?
Well, I haven't seen the movie yet, but it is definitely on my watch list this time. Well, you know, some people around me have watched it, including our PD Nimbao producer, and said it's quite interesting. And, you know, if you think about Bong Joon-ho's movie, his films always have this message to have depth-giving, strong social, and sometimes psychological messages to the audience. So if you look at the movie Okja and Parasite, these are prime examples. It tackles themes of corporate greed, class struggle, and sometimes human morality for the audience. And spoiler alert, everybody, Mickey 17, Mickey is repeatedly, he generates himself, regenerated, and he begins questioning his existence and purpose. But think about it, sometimes we question ourselves, our existence and purpose. We think about our life sometimes. So the movie seems to look into and explains, that for us, for all of us. And so I'll definitely give it a watch this time.
It sounds quite interesting, and we'll keep an eye on how well Mickey 17 does, not only in North America, but around theaters around the world. And that was our keyword news for this Tuesday. So we're now going to move on to our main discussion of the day. Tuesday is time to catch up on the latest in Korea's cultural front. Take a look at the screen to find out more. When we talk about Korean culture, one thing that always comes to mind is the Korean Wave, a term referring to the global spread of Korean culture. If you're interested in learning more about K-culture, there is a brand new encyclopedia that you might find both handy and insightful. So today on NewsGen, we're giving you a sneak peek into this very interesting book titled The Encyclopedia of Hallyu. So Juyeon, could you please tell us more about this book in general?
Of course. Well, this book, known as Encyclopedia of Hallyu, is a comprehensive reference designed to accurately introduce Korean Hallyu to fans, Hallyu fans to the customs, sentiments, and everyday culture that Koreans experience every single day. So recently compiled by the National Folk Museum of Korea, this dictionary covers various aspects of Korean life, including food, clothing, and housing, as well as locations, historical events, traditional games, honorifics, and emotions. It also delves into pop culture phenomena such as K-pop, drama, films, and webtoons, alongside the history and evolution of Hallyu. Well, they have these terms as well: the girl group Newjeans, Wonder Girls, and drama 나의 아저씨, Oh My Mister, 꽃보다 남자, Boys Over Flowers, and even webtoon writer Kangpul. They are among them. The publication consists of 453 entries and 800 included images in order to provide a visually engaging experience to the viewers. And the pictures are exceptionally clear. And in the case of food photography, dishes such as kimchi, which is a Korean traditional food side dish consisting of salted and fermented vegetables. And also they have this kimbap picture, a Korean dish made from cooked rice, vegetables, sometimes meat or seafood that is, rolled in kim. These are captured in an incredibly appetizing way. You should look at the pictures as well soon. And by the end of this year, an English translation will be released soon, followed by Chinese and Spanish editions as well. This is available for free download from the National Folk Museum of Korea. So what are you waiting for?
Wow, I hope we can get the other language versions of this Hallyu Encyclopedia very soon. I'm sure that a lot of our viewers who are watching are eagerly waiting for this new edition. So as Juyeon mentioned, this encyclopedia covers basically everything a K-culture fan needs to know, from Koreans' daily lives to the history of the Korean wave and even some of the most iconic moments in Korean pop culture. And since there is so much to explore, the book consists of hundreds of pages. We've selected 5 key terms that offer the clearest snapshot of Korea's latest cultural trends. So to help us break this down, our panelists will introduce them one by one. So Sang-hyuk, could you first start off with our first keyword?
Yeah, so the first keyword is 간장 계란밥. It's a rice with fried eggs and soy sauce. And by the way, it's my favorite breakfast. It's easy to make and brings back my appetite. So rice with egg and soy sauce is a simple yet nutritious meal that people of all ages have enjoyed for a long time in Korea. It is made with basic ingredients such as rice, soy sauce, fried eggs, sesame oil, and perilla oil. And you can make this dish by mixing a fried egg and soy sauce with warm rice. And depending on personal preference, butter can be used instead of sesame oil. And gochujang, which is Korean red pepper paste, or ketchup can replace soy sauce here. And this dish gained popularity during the industrialization era when there were more dual-income households rising to the surface because it was easy and fast to make.
Right, definitely. So this has sort of become a soul food among Koreans, and it kind of brings back memories.
For me as
well.
well.
Right. I think it's a soul food for many of us who grew up here in Korea. Now, we just talked about a popular dish in Korea. Juyeon, let's now talk about a term that really shows the lifestyle of Koreans.
Yes, of course. Well, by the way, you're making us very hungry. Well, among the Korean words that foreigners are most familiar with, 빨리빨리 is likely at the top of the list. It is a Korean phrase meaning in a very short amount of time, or quickly. It reflects a Korean culture emphasis on speed and efficiency in our daily life. In fact, it is often one of the first Korean phrases that foreigners learn upon arriving in Korea. 빨리빨리. So the pace of service in restaurants and cafes, as well as administrative processes in hospitals and banks, is remarkably fast. In Korea, we have those terms: 새벽 배송, or dawn delivery, ultra fast early morning delivery service, or 총알 배송, the bullet, delivery service here, extremely rapid same day or express delivery. And there is a table bell service in Korea. This is just a call button for a service in restaurants. And by the time I finish this sentence, your food might already be at your door.
Right. So I think that this 빨리빨리, or hurry up culture is kind of embedded in almost all aspects of our lives.
Hold on. Yes.
Right. Because we also mentioned several times on Newsgen that 빨리빨리 is sort of like the most defining trait of Korean culture and Koreans. Okay, so we're now going to move on to our third term, we're going to introduce the Romanized version of this Korean term because it has dual meanings, which means that it can be a bit tricky for non-native speakers to grasp when they first encounter this term. So Sang-hyuk, help us understand this.
Okay, so I'll 빨리 move on to the next keyword. Okay, the next keyword is 말아먹다. The Korean expression 말아먹다 is often used in situations like when you mess things up, or when you waste money, or when you ruin a family or business. It has a negative meaning, referring to losing wealth, failing at something, or completely destroying something. However, when written separately as 말아먹다 with the space in between, as you can see here on the screen, it means something completely different. It means to mix rice into soup and eat it. So it refers to soaking rice in broth and eating the rice and soup together. The original meaning of 말아먹다, that is mixing food and the soup, gradually took on a figurative symbol representing to expand and describe squandering money or failing business.
So hope our explanation helps you reduce your confusion when you encounter this term 말아먹다. We're now going to move on to our fourth term, and we mentioned this a few times on Newsroom recently because of that mega hit song, right, Gio?
That is right. We're talking about Rose's apartment, or APT, apartment. In Korea, the term 술 game or drinking game is so deeply rooted inside our culture, inside our social culture, and it even became the title of a popular song that I'm talking about. That's it. It's no surprise that the term 술 game or drinking game is included in the dictionary. Korea has a strong culture of gathering for meals and drinks, especially in workplace settings or even in schools. With a naturally lively spirit, Koreans enjoy playing games during these gatherings in order to strengthen their ties, bonds, relationships, and create a fun atmosphere. Some of the most well-known drinking games, I'm going to teach you some of them. 눈치 game, 눈치 game, and also 369 game, 손병호 game, and Baskin Robbins 31 game. If you are interested, please look it out. These all add an extra layer of fun, creating a very fun activities for them. This culture remains especially strong in university MTs, or known as membership training. We don't know who created that word, where students bond through drinking games and shared experiences, even though it faded a little bit after COVID-19. So drinking games are seen as a way to connect each other, bringing people closer and reinforcing a strong sense of we in a social circle.
A very big part of the community or group culture if you are an adult here in Korea. All right, so far we've looked at 4 keywords. We have just one more left. Sang-hyuk, please take your turn.
Yes, so the last expression is deeply rooted in Korea's unique culture of collectivism or being considerate of others. That is 언제 밥 한번 먹자, which can be translated as let's have meals sometimes. So Koreans often say let's have a meal sometimes as a casual farewell.
Right.
So most of the time this isn't a serious invitation, but more of a polite way to say goodbye. It's a way of expressing that the two people are close enough to share a meal. But I saw some funny videos on YouTube recently where foreigners sometimes misunderstand this as a real meal plan and take it literally, leading to a confusing situation.
I see, definitely. All right, so we're now going to take the time to listen to our viewers. We also asked them which Korean words or expressions they're most familiar with. And here's what 3 of them had to say. Our first comment for this Tuesday is by Benny97, 고생 끝에 낙이 온다, meaning at the end of hardship comes happiness in English. This resonates with me because after every bit of work I do, I will get to smile. Our second comment, Yuria11, Koreans often say let's have a meal together later, and it's just a greeting, not an actual plan, as Sang-hyuk mentioned. It wasn't too confusing for me because in Finland, we also say similar things even though they rarely happen. UFSA22, an interesting linguistic trait I see in Koreans is they tend to replace my with our, like our mom instead of my mom. Well, thank you for all those comments. Coming up, we'll be joined by an American millennial currently living in Korea who will share his thoughts on Korean culture. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
We're now going to welcome American millennial Brandon M. Jones to the show. Great to have you back on the show, Brandon.
Hello, everyone. How's it going today? Thanks for having me back.
Thank you for joining us once again. So, Brandon, the 5 keywords our panelists introduced included some Korean idioms that are commonly used in everyday culture. I'm sure you will know them well. But are there any Korean idioms or slangs or expressions that surprised or confused you when you first heard of them?
Yeah, there's one that was really interesting to me. I guess it's called kimchi 국부터 마시지 마라. Was one that really stuck with me. The idea don't drink the kimchi soup first as a warning against jumping to conclusions is so culturally specific. It really highlights the importance of patience and not counting your chickens before they hatch in a very Korean way.
That's right. 김치국부터 마시지 말자. So I'm going to ask you the second question before you go. Well, if you had to choose, what would you say is the most defining or unique trait of Korean culture?
Oh, there's so many, but the one that really sticks with me is the strong sense of community and collectivism. So the emphasis of 우리 or we, which reflects a deep-seated value for shared experiences and mutual support. And I think this is really evident in like everything you guys do, the communal dialing and national pride.
Okay, Brandon, as a last question, is there any aspect of Korean culture that you think international fans might not be familiar with but deserves more recognition or could gain popularity in the future?
I think one would be like the Korean arts like pansori or traditional Korean paintings like minhwa. They deserve more recognition. These art forms hold, so much history and cultural depth, and they offer a fantastic window into the Korean soul. And I wish more people discover the beauty of Korean culture through these arts and its like surge in popularity.
And Brandon, for our viewers who are watching who might be interested in the examples that you mentioned, do you have any recommendations for a specific place that they could check them out?
Just come to Seoul. Anywhere in Seoul is good. Just good food, good music, a lot of good festivals, concerts, everything is going good here. So if you guys come to Seoul, you'll have a great time. You'll be able to experience Korean culture to the fullest. Not like in the dramas, it's a little bit different.
Definitely. All right, Brandon, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. Have a good day, you guys. And
you too.
Have a good week.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so ending off our episode today, I want to ask our panelists, if you had the chance to update this Encyclopedia of Hallyu, what would you like to add?
Well, Korean pop culture is definitely evolving and ever evolving, so it would be great to see the dictionary continuously updated with this trendy trend, up-to-date information reflecting current shifts in Hallyu as well. So perhaps sections on popular social media trends and emerging subcultures here could be added to fully showcase the energy and diversity of modern Korean culture here. For example, do you know this term, 만반 잘부?
Oh, please help us.
You don't know it. You're the woman of the end.
I know, but just for our viewers.
Well, it is short for 만나서 반가워, 잘 부탁해, meaning nice to meet you. Let's get along. So, and also, do you know the term 억텐?
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
Yes, it is short for
억지 텐션?
That is correct. 억지 텐션, meaning forcing enthusiasm, exaggerated reactions to seem more fun or entertaining. Sometimes we those have 억지 텐션. So terms like these words have rapidly become part of our life, our everyday speech, especially among younger generations. So because in Korea, even trends move at 빨리빨리 speed, these words should definitely be on the dictionary soon.
And I think that this definitely should be part of this encyclopedia because although we can learn Korean, our viewers who are watching can learn them through taking online classes or the King Sejong Institute. But these everyday expressions that you mentioned, it's really hard to learn them and obtain them, which could be another way this encyclopedia could become handy and helpful.
That's right.
And what would you like to add?
Well, there are many expressions that represent the unique cultural characteristics of Korea, and we have some keywords that you cannot find often in other countries. And one of them is 아니, which means no. But here, This 아니 or no does not mean to reject something or to be negative about something, but it's actually a filler that many Koreans use in front of a sentence when they're about to say something important or about to spill a tea or gossip to a close friend. So 아니 does not literally mean no as of yes or no, but it's actually a word that emphasizes what you're about to say. So for instance, if I say 아니, 내 말 좀 들어봐. 지난번에 무슨 일이 있었냐면은 this could be translated as, hey guys, you gotta hear about this. You will not gonna believe what I'm going to say.
It doesn't mean no.
Yeah, it doesn't mean no, but it's a sign of importance or highlight that I'm about to say something very intriguing, like a gossip.
Definitely. So hope the National Folk Museum of Korea takes these into consideration. And that's all we have for this episode of News Generation, but we will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. Special thanks today to Kwon-Ji-yeon.
Have a lovely day, Eugene.
You too, and thank you. And
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you for spending time with us, and hope you join us tomorrow as well. We are
News Generation.